want to show y'all something. Look at this. I had a sweet follower that brought me some more strawberry onions, and they live in Plant City. That's where they came from. They also grew this cabbage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir fry this cabbage with this onion, and you talking about good, oh my word. And I'm going to have some sweet tea, except I'm not going to put sugar in mine. I'm on the don't eat sugar thing. Anyway, I'm using the decaffeinated today, the Y'all Sweet Tea. I've got a big picture of this made. I just made it. And I'm going to have cabbage. I'm going to have onions. But before I start, I want to tell you a story. And the reason I'm telling y'all this story is because this morning I was telling some people about it, and they just couldn't believe it. But I said, well, I'm going to tell you. When I was in high school and junior high and high school, I rode a bus to school every day. It actually came by my house, but I had to walk to the road that it came on. In other words, I lived on a dead-end street right here, and the bus would come like that. So I had to walk to the end of the road with my books and everything, and I'd raise up the bathroom window. I could hear that bus coming. I lived in a place that was real hilly, and so I could hear that bus coming, and I'd take off out the road so I wouldn't miss it, because they would just, if you weren't out there, they just went right on. Well, there was our bus driver. Now, you know, if you've ever ridden on a bus, the first thing you do is she opens the doors. Well, our bus driver was a woman. She opens the doors, and you just step in, and you're looking right at her. She's supposed to be driving, and her legs are, you know, you can see her legs on the pedal and hold it on like this, but she's got one hand opening the door. Well, this woman that was our bus driver, she didn't shave her legs. I guess she had never shaved them. That was a shocker to me when I was in high school to see a bus driver, a woman that didn't shave her legs. And she had on a skirt. And so the skirt came right above her knees. When she sat down, it was about right in here above her knees. And to make it even worse, she had black hair. And black hair on her legs. And it must have been that long, each hair. And it was pretty thick. And I thought, oh my word. But here's the bad part. She had on pantyhose and had pulled those pantyhose up, and it pushed that hair down flat on her legs, and it was going every which way on her legs. It had on those pantyhose. Well, I told that this morning. I was telling somebody about that, and they just giggled and giggled, and I thought, I'm going to have to share this with my other followers. Because it just, and you know, a lot of things happen on those school buses. I feel sorry for the drivers sometimes on school buses trying to control everybody, but I had to ride one, and my little brothers rode with me on the school bus, and there was 3 of those. So somebody on the bus, and I don't recall who it was, kept picking on my smallest brother, my little brother. And I tried to settle it, but I couldn't settle it. But my mama found out. Now, she was a spunky woman. And so she called the mother of that child that kept picking on my little brother. And she said, I want you to tell your child to quit picking on my little boy. You know, he's getting upset, and I don't want you picking on him anymore. And she said something to Mama. I don't really know what it was, but it wasn't very nice, whatever she said. And so then Mother's feathers got ruffled, and she said, I guess I hadn't told you, but that's not my only son. I have a big son, too. And if you don't control your child, I'm going to let my child do whatever. And we're going to fix this because you're not going to keep picking on my little boy. So from then on out, we didn't have to worry about it. Anyway, we're going to get to cooking right here, and it's going to be so good, y'all. A cabbage is so good for you, and you're going to love it, and it's going to be delicious. So I want you to stay with me, and we're going to cook. We may tell another story. Y'all like my new pen I got? It's just given to me today. Get up here close where you can see it. They took fabric and wove it around some which way. It's got a backing on the back with a pin, and you can wear it on your sweater or your lapel when you just feel like you need on a flower. And it goes good with this little sweater, I think. It's cute, isn't it? People, there's the little leaves coming out on. People are so creative. I mean, isn't it amazing? So, y'all ready to cook a cabbage and some onion? Let's get started. Y'all, my phone went dead, so I had to put you over to a different part because my cord is long, too short. So what I've done is I got you plug it in, charge it while I'm videoing. All right, so now I think we're ready to cook. I don't know that for a fact, but I know I'm going to try to cook. The first thing that I'm going to do is put us on just a little bit of cornbread because it takes it just a little bit longer to cook than the cabbage. So, let's see how we can work this. We got our stove over here. Here's our eye, and here's what I'm going to cook my cabbage in right here. This pan right here and I'm going to put a top on it because we're going to cook it like that. But first of all, we're going to do our cornbread, and I'm going to put it in this teeny weeny little skillet right here. And so let me see if I can turn you to look at this corner of this thing right here, and I'll show you what we're going to do. This is a good cornbread to fix when it's just you, okay? Or maybe your husband. So here's what I've done. I measured it out so you would kind of know what's going on here. This is I think it's 1/4. Let me check again what I put in there. Well, I got cornmeal over it. I can't even see it. It's 1/4. This is 1/4 cup of, it's the buttermilk cornbread, buttermilk cornmeal mix that White Lily makes. And this is going to be plenty for just one little hoe cake. That's all I want. And I'm going to put some buttermilk in. I don't know if I've got down in here. I can show you what I'm using. I don't know. Let me see. Here's some. No, that's flour. Anyway, it's the one with the scarecrow on it, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do, it just doesn't take much for you to make this little bit of cornbread. Just put you a little bit of buttermilk in it. Not much. You want it kind of stiff, okay? I had to take my pretty little pen off because this strap on this thing was messing it up. And I didn't want to mess it up. If you put too much buttermilk in it, you'll just have to put a little bit more cornmeal in it. This is going to make just all I want. I'm not very hungry today. I just want mostly cabbage. But I do like to have just a touch of cornmeal in buttermilk. You could wrap this really easy. All right, so it's almost there. Let me show you. We'll put just one more little scoot in there. You can see it's still a little bit on the thick side. I'm going to cook it in olive oil. You can cook it in bacon grease. You can cook it in lard. Whatever you want to use. Whatever floats your boat. That's what Georgia used to say. All right, so I think this is ready. Let me show you how thick I've got it. And it's going to make a nice little patty, okay? And remember, it's self-rising, so it's going to rise up just a little bit. Like that. All right, now come over here to the... Well, you can't come over here, can you? I'm going to take this little skillet right here, and I'm going to put it on the front eye. I'm going to turn it on high, and I'm going to put just a little tad of olive oil in it. Just enough to cover the bottom good. And while that's doing while that's getting hot, I'm going to take this. I'm just going to have to take you out of this thing. Maybe it won't run out of juice. Come on. You can't do this over here. You cannot do it. We're going to have to move you over here. There's just no other way to do it. To put you there where you can see what I'm doing, I want you to make your little cornbread. This is, I put some olive oil in this one. I've got it turned on high right now. And I'm going to put this in it, right here, in the middle. I want to get it all. But when you're just a little bit, but you're just craving cornbread, and when you're in the South, you crave cornbread, I'm telling you. I'm going to press it down. And as soon as I hear it cooking, I'm going to turn it down, okay? I'm going to kind of get it, I want it kind of thin. All right. There we go. As soon as I kind of see it bubbling around there, I'll know that I'm ready. All right, so in the meantime, we're going to cut up this little bit of cabbage. And I could move this light, but I can't. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll put it over here where you can see the cabbage over here. All right, there we go. I just don't want to pull it out from the wall. All right. Now then, we're ready. All right, and this is beginning to bubble a little bit. Not much, but some. See, that's going to make a nice big patty. You don't need a whole lot. And it's going to be absolutely delicious. We're going to flip it over with a spatula after a while. Okay, let's cut up a cabbage. I've already washed this cabbage. And I am not going to cut much of it up because it's just me and I don't need a whole lot. I'm going to cut, well, maybe a little bit more than that because it's going to cook down. And then take your knife and slice it kind of thin. Like that. And we're going to cook it over here in another skillet. I'm going to turn it on high. All right, it's time to turn this cornbread down. You see how it's doing right there? So I'm going to turn it down to kind of low. I'm going to turn it to 5. This is what I'm going to have for supper tonight. And it is going to be fantastic. I do love cabbage, and this is a fresh one. They were from Taste, Florida, and they brought me 2 things of strawberries and brought me this strawberry onion. I'm going to cut just a little bit more because this cooks down so much. That'll be plenty right there for me. All right, let me cut this one up. You can cut it up any way you want to. It really doesn't matter. It's going to all cook anyway. All right, let's put us a little olive oil in our skillet over here. Right here. And I've got the butter out, and the reason I got the butter out is I'm going to put one little pat of butter in it just for seasoning. I've got some bacon grease, but I'm saving it for something else. Okay, that's doing fine over here. We're going to let that melt, and in the meantime, we're going to put our cabbage in there. Like that. You know, some people call this like green head cabbage. My mother used to call it that. And she'd get so mad if she went to the grocery store and the grocery people had pulled off all that green around the outside to make it look like a head. Because she loved the green part. All right, now then, we're going to move this out of the way. And we're going to cut a little bit of this onion to go in the top of it. And we're going to do it right now. In other words, you put it in with the cabbage. Let me wipe off where it was sitting. I also want to show you this up close because some of y'all are crafters and you'll want to know, I don't know how they sew that. with a little flower on it. And that's the back of it. I just got that kind of pin right there. And you can wear it on your lapel or your little sweater. It's really cute. Okay, now here is our onion, and I'm going to just cut part of it off because I don't need all of it. I'm going to cut half of it. And I'll clean the other half later and put it in the refrigerator. I read one time that you're not supposed to put that in the refrigerator. Onion. I don't know that. In fact, I think to go wash it off. There's dirt on it. Whoop. Okay. Here's our strawberry onion right here. Now, somebody told me, this is some new information. Somebody told me the reason they plant the onions next to the strawberries was because that keeps the pest off of the strawberries. So they put a whole patch of onions around the strawberries. They'll have a row of strawberries, a row of onions, a row of strawberries, a row of onions. And that's interesting to me. So I guess they're not using any poisons or anything on it. Okay. I'm going to rinse this onion off now. We're going to cut it real thin. And we're going to put it right on top of our cabbage. And it's already wilted up real good. I think it's time to turn our cornbread over. Let's check it and see. See how it's kind of browning around the edges? See what a big patty that made? Oh my goodness. All right, turn it over on that side. And so all you got to have is buttermilk and this White Lily self-rising cornmeal, and you got you a good nice little cornbread. You certainly have. And this tastes so good with the cabbage, y'all. I might should have taken that first little thing off of there. You know how it'll sometimes be tough. Okay, I'm going to cut this in some little squares here. When I went to the grocery store a while ago, I saw one of our students that goes to Strawn, and he also goes to our church, Bethany, and he was checking out groceries. His mom and daddy had him working. I told him it was good. That's good for you. All right, let's go and put our onions in on top of our cabbage. See what a good little supper we're having. It's going to be good, y'all. Look at that. Now this is all I'm going to have, y'all. This is all I'm going to have. And you're talking about good for you. This is absolutely wonderful for you. There's nothing any better for you than a good cabbage. All right, I'm going to put my top on it and let her just cook down while this is cooking. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'll get y'all over here. We'll talk a little bit. Have y'all tried the y'all sweet tea yet? It is really good. It's real good. Here's what you need to do so you won't have to order it. I mean, I'm going to put you the link in there so you can order it. It comes in lots of flavors like peach and watermelon and raspberry and whatever else. They got a lot of flavors. But they've also got the decaf or the caffeinated. But here's what you need to do. If they don't sell it in your stores, then you need to ask the manager of the store to start buying it. Now, that's what you need to do. They sell it in the one I go to. But I know that the man that runs our store here, anytime that they don't have what I want, if I talk to him about it, they did not have the detergent that I liked. And so they just didn't have it. They never had ordered it before. They never did carry it. So I asked him if he would start ordering it for me because that's what I wanted. He said, yes, I will. You see, so if you don't ask, you're not getting. You got to learn to ask people things. So he started carrying it, and now he carries it all the time because there's other people that like the same detergent that I do. So as a result, he is selling more different kinds of detergent, and I'm happy. So that's two good things. So if they don't sell this in your store, now they won't do it like probably in a big chain, okay? But you have little individual stores in your town that are owned by somebody you know. I mean, that's their store. And so if you'll tell them to start carrying it, they probably will. And then you won't have to order. You just go down there and buy it anytime you want to. But you will have to probably order the flavors because they had got room on the shelves in the grocery store to carry all the flavors that y'all sweet tea has. Which my favorite is peach, but to each his own, as Mama would say. Y'all don't take what I said wrong about the lady with the hair on her legs. You know, some people don't shave their legs, and that's fine. But if you don't, please don't put on any pantyhose with it and squish them down to your leg like that, because that certainly doesn't look right. If you're going to wear pantyhose, you need to shave your legs. That's what I say. What do you say? This is cooking. Let me turn you off just a second. I think our cornbread, though, I'll turn you back on when it's ready, but it looks like it's almost ready. Let me kind of pick it up just a little bit and look at it. It is. It's ready. All right, I'm going to get me a plate. Let's get a green plate since we're going to be eating green cabbage and onions. Put our cornbread. See how big that turned out? Now, don't go mixing a whole. Don't go mixing a whole cup of this cornmeal unless you've got 4 people, because this is. Look how big. That was just a fourth of a thing. See? All right, now let's taste it. You want to taste it? Here's what you do. It's kind of hot. You get you a pat of butter, like this. Put it on the edge right there. It's hard for me to do with one hand. Let me spread it out. Like that. But you don't have to. It's like... And then you take your bite. That is so good. I love cornbread. And I've taught you how to make so many different kinds. Y'all ordered your coffee table book yet? Very good. It's gonna be good, y'all. It's my 4th book. It's gonna be good, y'all. Linger around the table, y'all. Live each little moment, y'all. The Southern Mirror. The Southern Mirror is the coffee table book. And it's going to be a fine book for your coffee table. You're going to enjoy it. I'm writing stories galore in that thing. Okay, y'all look over here. Our cabbage is cooking real good right here. I don't want to cook it till it's a mush. I want it sauteed good. And I'm going to eat this and that cornbread and drink that tea, and that's all I'm having for supper. Okay, we'll put the top on it. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit and finish it up. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to take you outside because my azaleas are, a lot of them are in almost full bloom. And I've got some other things blooming that I want you to see. So tomorrow, y'all tune in at, 6 o'clock or something like that. I'm going to make the video the day before so I can make it at the right time of day where you can see it. And I'm going to show y'all what's blooming. One of the things I want to show you is called a Grantsy Gray Beard. It is a tree that was my husband's favorite tree, or one of his favorites. He loved trees. But, and I'm going to show y'all that because it's really an unusual tree. I used to have 3. Now I've only got 2. 1 died. But I'm going to show you that tomorrow. So let's eat our cabbage now. I think it's pretty much ready. I poured me another glass of tea. I'm going to get my cabbage and onions right here. And Miss Brenda's going to sit down and enjoy it. In case you wondered what you're watching Cooking with Brenda Gantt. And it has no name under it. No name. It just says Cooking with Brenda Gantt. Got a blue check mark. If it has a name under it, it's a stolen video. If it's anything other than Brenda Gantt, that's a stolen video. They just steal my videos. All right, here we go. Let's get our cabbage and onions. The only calories you're getting from this is from the oil that you put on it. And the cornbread might have a little bit, but not much because it wasn't but 1/4 of a cup. It's mostly buttermilk. Okay, here it is. I'm going to give y'all a taste of it. If you've never cooked cabbage with onions before like this, with just oil instead of boiling it, you're missing a treat. So there it is. The cabbage and the onions. So good. You don't want to overcook it now. Don't cook it like a mush. Have it kind of chewy. It's mighty good, y'all. Thank you, sweet friends, for sending me this cabbage that you grew yourself. And I'm enjoying it. And thank you for the onions. And thank you, y'all, Sweet Tea, for making this good tea. And thank you, White Lily, for making good cornmeal. We got a lot of people to thank in the world. Each person's doing their own thing. Some people are growing cabbage and onions. Some people are making tea. Some people are making flour. But there's so many smart people in the United States today that's working hard and trying to do right. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you because of your hard work and your dedication to making a good product. And since I don't know how to make tea leaves, I don't know how to do that. And I don't know how to make cornmeal. And I never have grown a cabbage. So I'm thankful for all these people that do know how and that share with us. I think it's a blessing. And I am going to enjoy my meal. And y'all have a wonderful day. And cheers to you. Hope your bed feels good tonight to your little body. I pray that God just gives you a peace tonight that passes all understanding, and that you can just lay there and know that whatever happens is in God's hands. It's in God's hands. I went to a nursery today and bought 2 ferns to go on my front porch. And I told Candy, I said, wonder if it frosts tonight. Because, you know, the weather is today is cold. That's why I've got on this sweater. It's cold outside. And she said, you know, my little shop here, she has a garden shop and an antique shop. She said, it's never frosted on it. It'll frost everywhere else in town and it never frosts on my stuff. And she said, God takes care of me. I said, yes, he does. And she said, if he chooses to send frost, I'll know it's for a good reason. And I won't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. That's a good attitude, isn't it? That's a real good attitude. I love y'all. Have a great night, and Jesus loves you too. Bye.